August 2020, and we decide that while the weather's good, we'll do some work on fixing leaks that are coming from the deck hardware. We've already done the leaks in the window, so this is just the last few bits and bobs that will keep the cabin dry in the rapidly approaching autumn and winter. A lot of this is really old, rusty stuff, and it was quite the job to get it off, but as you can see below the chain boss here, we can now see the true colour of the gel coat. So it's off with the cleats and off with the handrail, and when that's done we'll be working in the forward cabin. We've decided what materials we're going to use to replace all of the rotten wood aboard Bebop, so it's time to start chopping it out. And here comes the chain locker. Once we'd got the chain locker bulkhead out, we noticed that the forward deck had become slightly softer than we wanted, so we decided to throw a couple of layers of fiberglass on from within. It went on okay, but I did have to grind a few bits out and re-resin it and put some battering resin on the corners of the reinforcement plates that the deck hardware was attached to. So today I'm going to be clearing out the old tabbing for the chain locker bulkhead, so I need to get all this junk out of the way. Let's do a little bit of magic. We also knew at this point that we were eventually going to have to replace the sole below the forward cabin, so everything's going to have to come out. I wasn't particularly happy with the condition of the stuff that was in there and figured that eventually we'd replace it, so we just cut it out and got it out the way. Once the forward cabin berth was out and the water tank was revealed, there was a whole lot of tabbing and muck to be ground out. That took quite a while, even with a powerful angle grinder and a flappy sandy disc. But with a mask and some goggles and some ear defenders, we got there in the end. For a bit of a change of pace, I decided that I'd fill and fair the hardtop, smear on some fresh gel coat, sand it back with some very fine papers and then polish it just to see what sort of result we can get, and eventually it actually came up beautifully, so at least we know that we can do that moving forward all over the exterior of the boat. Having gained some confidence from working the hardtop, I decided to return to the sides of the hull, give it a good fill and fair and see just how flat I could get it, and obviously there's still work to be done. We also knew that the boat was going to be moved, so I wanted to knock off a lot of the muck that was on the underside of the hull. The move is complete. We are now in our new position, much higher off the ground, which is wonderful. Everything went beautifully, so thank you to the yard lads, no problems at all. Once we were moved to the other end of the yard, the boat was slightly higher up, so it was much easier to get underneath the hull and work the ground areas that we found earlier in the year. And here's poor wifey going through all of the pits and cracks and nonsense that she ground out and filling it in with delicious thickened gel coat. We'll get to knocking that back in a couple of weeks' time. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this recap, and we hope you subscribe, and if you do, please don't forget to ring the bell and set your notification preferences. We'll see you again very soon, and don't forget there are plenty of full-length episodes on our channel, so you can see all the details of the lovely load of work that we're having to do on Bebop to get her fit for the water again.